Hello and welcome to this week's weekly vlog. So it was Ian's birthday on Saturday just gone and we had a lovely day. I really wanted to get him tickets to go to see our local football club, but it was like damn near impossible to figure out how to get hold of these tickets. Like I went on the Froome FC website and they don't really it took me ages to find a contact number. It was so not easy. So I ring them, there's no answer, I left a voicemail, I used their online form, I emailed them and I didn't get a response, so we didn't get to go and see Froome FC play, which kind of sucks, but that's something that we can do like anytime anyway, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. But instead we all decided to take a lovely trip up to Clay Hill, which is a landmark that you can see from my patio window. But we was all kind of like, you know, what do you want to do today? We kind of toyed with the idea of going with crazy golf, because we all love a bit of crazy golf. Who doesn't love crazy golf? But then we decided to go to Clay Hill instead, because we've lived here for 2 years and we've never been up Clay Hill. So we take Maggie, because obviously it's a great opportunity for Mags to explore somewhere different as well. And my dad, Ian and I, we get our wellies on, we get geared up, we get down there. So it starts off like with just a really kind of nice ramble up this like really gentle slope, but it had been raining, so the mud was ridiculous. Like it was just sloosh, sloosh, sloosh like every step. And we get to the first gate and that's like the bottom of Clay Hill, kind of. Like it's not the bottom, you're kind of already up maybe about, I don't know, like, I'm so bad with heights, maybe 30 feet. So then you go through the gate and you start, so Clay Hill is like a hill that goes up and then it has like it plateaus out at the top and it's like this huge bit that you can stand on. So totally safe. And you go up and like around the mountain, or you can kind of go around and then up, which is what we planned to do. So we went over the sty. Well, I didn't go over the sty, I went in all the mud because it was more fun. And we started walking around the mountain. Oh, it's not a mountain, it's a hill. I totally over exaggerate there. It is not a mountain. So we started walking around the hill and then there was this bit that went up and basically went straight to the top, and it was kind of steep. So we decided to go that way. So Maggie's being a fucking nightmare, and you can't take dogs, well, you can take your dog off the lead if they're well behaved, and Maggie isn't well behaved off the lead. So I was holding her on the lead and she's like pulling me left, right and centre, and we get to this bit where there's a really kind of steep bit that you have to go up. So we walked up it and we got to the top. There was still a way to go to get to the top of the mountain, but I could see it, and we kind of stood and just looked out at the view, and it was really beautiful, and I was like, wow, this is like gorgeous. And then my legs started to go a bit funny, and I said like, oh guys, like just letting you know, like my legs are starting to go a bit jelly. And they were like, oh okay, you'll be fine. I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. And we was looking out at the view and it was really lovely, you could see like everything, it was gorgeous. And then my dad and Ian were like, okay, let's go behind and straight up to the top of the hill. So it's like a really big slope. So they started walking up the hill and I realised that I actually couldn't move. Like I had totally frozen, and I was like, oh shit, like I can't move, I'm stuck, and I've got Maggie, and I started to freak out. So I'm stood on this, and the reason why I was freaking out, right, not really up that high, I mean it was a slope down, and if I had stumbled you would have rolled and you probably would have kept rolling, but there was like this ledge to the side of me, and the ledge was the bit that was freaking me out because I couldn't see beyond the ledge, so it looked like a cliff edge, like an actual drop, and that was making my legs turn to jelly. So I'm stood on the side of this hill, frozen. Them two have started walking up to the top of the hill and they started calling out to me going, Jenna, come on, come to the top. I've turned around, which was a really bad thing to do, and that was it. I was like meltdown mode. I was like, Oh fuck, my whole body is shaking. I am so afraid. I don't know why I got so afraid. I tried to fight it. Like, if I feel anxiety or anything that's like uncomfortable, generally I'll just go, it's happening, relax, ride it out. But this, I couldn't ride out and I couldn't relax. Like, I was stood on the side of this hill, just like, my whole life flashed before my eyes. Like, I was like, oh my god. And then they stayed at the top for a bit, and I said to him, go to the top, like, go and have a look and see what it's like, because I didn't want them to like miss out on going to the top while I'm like having some stupid meltdown when I'm only like maybe 100 feet up. It's not even really that high. So I'm stood there. They've disappeared. They've gone to the top. They had no idea that I was having a meltdown, by the way. It's not like they just left me. They had no idea. So I'm stood at the side of this hill, and this huge cloud like starts coming over, and the sun starts to go in, and it starts to get cold. And I was stood there thinking, oh my god, I've got visions of like being stuck here through the night, stood in this like the just rain pelting down over Mags and I have not changed position. So I was kind of stood up with like one leg kind of bent, because I felt like I wanted to just sit down. I wanted to just sit on the floor and like hug the floor. But instead I was kind of like melded. I couldn't move from like having one leg bent, and it was starting to ache so bad, but I was like, I actually can't move. So then Mags, because my dad and Ian have gone up to the top of the hill, Mags is freaking out and she's like, oh, I want to go and see them, where did they go? And she's like pulling me, and I'm like, Mags, for God's sake, like stop pulling me, we're gonna like tumble off the edge of this ledge. So anyway, about, I don't know, it felt like eternity, but maybe like 10 minutes passed, and Ian comes like a mountain goat springing down this hill towards me, and this hill was kind of steep. I'll put pictures in and stuff so you can see it. So he comes springing down this hill, and he's like, you okay? And I am just a mess when he gets to me. I am a mess. Like, he walks up to me and he's like, oh my god, you're shaking and you're almost in tears. And I was like, yeah, I just want to get down, let's go down. So I had been looking longingly at the way down that we came up, but it was like proper steep and like slippery AF, because it had been raining and it was all muddy and stuff. And because I had Mags, like, she pulls so, she's like a little ball of strength, and she would have just pulled me down this thing and I would have just gone. So I had to wait, and no matter how much I wanted to get down, I was like, no, I have to wait for like Ian or my dad to come, and then they can help me. So Ian's like, yeah, let's go down. So my legs, like, it was so bad, like I could barely move my legs. When he was like, come on, let's go, I was like, oh god, it's actually like painful to move my legs where they've been so rigid and shaky. And we ended up getting down to the bottom, and I was immediately fine. Like, when we got to the bottom, I was like, okay, I just kind of want to get to the car and sit down and like feel ground that's safe beneath my feet and there's no height or anything. And by the time my dad came back down again, and I felt bad because I felt like I'd rushed everyone back down. I was like, no, you can go back up. But they were exhausted because it's like a long trek up. So, but they got some really good pictures, and I'll show you guys all the pictures in this vlog. When we got back to the car, I was like, oh my god, thank god. Oh, I thought I was going to catch on fire. So that was harrowing, and I discovered that I actually do suffer from vertigo. Like, I had no idea. There was, when we go to Mallorca and Portugal and that, we always go to water parks and we always go on flumes. And you know, like, they have those steps that go up in a square, and usually they're made out of metal, and they don't have anything in between the steps so you can see down if you look down. Like, I've been up those loads, and I generally get to a point where I can't let go of the edge. Like, I have to hold on, and if someone wants to come back down because they freaked out, like, I'm like, yeah, you need to go around me because I ain't letting go of this rail. So I've always known that I've had some issue with like vertigo, but I've never frozen before, like never frozen. And like a couple of weekends ago, I went to Wookie Hole Caves, and there's this bit where like the guy turned around to us on the tour when we was inside the caves, and he was like right at the front, and my family were like right at the back of this crowd because we wanted to like hang back and be naughty and like chew gum. And he called out and he was like, if anyone's claustrophobic, which Ian is, or has vertigo, which I thought maybe I might have an issue with, then we could go like a safe way. But we were right at the back, and it was like, oh, whatever, let's just do it. and we went across this like railing thing, and it was a big drop below into like freezing cold water, like a really, really big drop. I don't know, maybe like, I'm really bad with heights, like 60 foot, I don't know, it was really high. And when I walked over that, I was like, this is fine, like nothing. So it's weird, it's like only certain things trigger my vertigo, but Ian had a great birthday, so that's what counts, right? But we went out for an Indian meal on Friday night, which was lovely. I had a dish called paneer shashlik, which is, it's like Indian cheese, but I don't think it actually is cheese. It's a vegetarian meal with onions, and there was so much, like I couldn't eat all of it. It was gorgeous. And then Saturday night we had a Chinese takeout, and I had tofu with ginger and spring onion, which was amazing until I ate a bit of ginger, and I was like, oh fuck. And I also ordered some crispy seaweed, which I've really been enjoying kale lately, but the crispy seaweed was like gross. I was really gutted. I was really looking forward to it, but they put way too much salt on it, so like I couldn't even taste the seaweed in the end. So I was just like, I don't want that. No, gross. Anyway, I have got, like, normally with a Monday, because I do the weekly vlog, I tend to try and keep everything down to a minimum, because I can't use my computer because it's rendering, and I always do 2 renders. I put my vlog into Sony Vegas. It's not Sony Vegas, it's like a really cheap version of Sony Vegas, and I do all my sort of slicing and cropping in that, and then I render it, which takes, sometimes it's like 40 minutes if it's like a vlog that's about 10 minutes, sometimes it's like 2 hours if it's a Q&A, and then I put that video into Movie Maker and do like my text edits in there, because I'm so bad at like video editing. I wish I was better at it. I wish I could do like all the little fancy transitions and stuff, but I haven't got a clue, and I haven't got time to learn how to do it really. But but today is actually kind of a bit manic, although I saved myself, because last week I did the Q&A already, so I was meant to be doing that today, but I've already done that, so that's handy. So today I'm doing this vlog, and I need to check out something on Patreon. I put a poll up for my patrons a little while ago, and I want to go and sort of have a chat with them guys about it, and I'm going to be doing a teeny bit of VA voice acting, and I have a song that I want to record some vocals for, so I kind of need to cram a lot in after my, but it's so annoying because I have to wait for my computer to finish rendering this before I can crack on, unless I do it the other way around, but I'm a bit of a completionist and I like to do things in order. And anyway, tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm recording the Friday surprise, and I'm going to be doing some edits for a song that I'm working on. And Wednesday I'm going to be working on a collab WoW parody, and I need to bath Maggie because it's that time of the month where she has to have her frontline on Thursday, and you know you can't put frontline on your pets and then bathe them because it's just pointless. It washes it out of the fur and everything. So she's going to get a nice bath tomorrow. Thursday I'm going to be recording, oh my god, I'm going to be recording my live performance song, which you guys on YouTube get a preview of, but my patrons get the full whack. And I kind of want to tell you guys what it is. Well, you'll see on Thursday when I put the preview up. I'm nervous about doing it, but I'm also really excited, and I'm pretty sure I can pull off a live version of it, so I'm just going to go for it on Thursday. I've even put a little sticker in that says I can do it, because I'm so sad. Friday, I'll be uploading the Friday surprise to my patrons, and also last Friday I sent out all of the CDs and letters and that to my patrons, so if you're waiting on a CD or a letter, then that's literally going to be with you this week. And what else did I do last week? Oh yeah, I updated my websites with music from my YouTube channel, so if you're waiting on a song, then that's going to be on my soundcloud.com/Sharmy or arcanewhispers.net, so you can go and check those out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go because I really need to crack on with editing all this and getting it done. I don't think there was anything else that I needed to talk to you guys about, or was there? Oh, side note, Skyhold, our guild, downed Gul'dan the other day. Oh, what a fun fight. It was really, really fun. And last night, I downed Nightbane for the first time. That fight. I'm a healer. That fight. Healers. That fight. That was harrowing, but we did it. After like maybe 5 or 6 wipes though, but we did it. There was no doubt that we wasn't gonna do it. It was just that it took a while, that's all. We did it though, that's the main thing. I can sleep easy. Anyway, I will see you all soon. I'll see you on Thursday with a little live performance preview, and Friday if you're a patron for the Friday surprise, and if you're not, I'll see you next Monday for the weekly vlog. Have a wonderful week. Bye!